Hello, how are you doing? Hope you are all well. Happy hump day. We are midway through the week. So hope you're all having a lovely week so far. I'm just going to try and have the comments on a separate screen, only because it does keep misbehaving. So I'm going to keep flipping between screens just so I can see any comments that pop up or any questions that you've got as well. So do say hello if you're watching. Let me know how you are, and if you do have any questions as we go through as well. Hi Sammy. So I can see, hurrah. Amazing. Okay, this works on two screens, that's good. So today I wanted to talk about the law of attraction because I'm really conscious that I talk about this all the time. I talk about manifesting all the time, and they're terms that are bandied around quite a lot. But for those of you that aren't necessarily in that space yet or not familiar with it, you probably think, what the bloody hell are you talking about? So I wanted to demystify it a little bit for you. And I'm going to do some posts over the next couple of days that are going to tell you even more about it and give you some tips and ideas and exercises to try as well. So let me know if you're familiar with it already. If you've worked with me, then you definitely will be, because magic and manifesting is the main aim of my work that I do. But if it is new to you, then do let me know as well, just so I know where you're at. Because yeah, it is one of those things that we can talk about, and actually, do we know what it means? So, without getting too scientific, the law of attraction is based on science, so there is an element of science to it. So what the law of attraction is, and if you've seen the film The Secret, you might have had a bit of an insight into this, and actually it's a pretty good film for representing what the law of attraction is. But there are three elements, is the right word, that make up what the law of attraction is. Okay, hi Sarah. So the law of attraction is just one of the many universal laws that we have. Okay, we have like the law of gravity, for example. That's not a universal law, that's a law of physics and gravity. But just as an example, that's why it's called a law. Okay, so don't get too sort of held up on the word law. But there are three elements to it. So there is the scientific element, okay, and the most basic way of explaining that is all about vibrations. So you know when you say, like you pick up on someone's vibe, okay, or you get a certain vibe from someone, that's because we are all vibrating, okay, which actually sounds a little bit rude. But we are all made of little tiny molecules, little tiny atoms, and we are vibrating, okay? We're not a static object, okay? If you put us under a microscope, you would see all these little atoms and everything vibrating. Okay, kind of like when your TV goes wonky and you have like that white noise. Okay, so that kind of vibration. Hi Jenny. So you sort of know ish. Okay, awesome. Hi Sarah. Fabulous. So any questions, do let me know, because you know this is something that I have worked on for years and years. So to me it's normal, but I know for a lot of people it's like, what? So that's why I'm here. So we have the scientific part of it, okay, that we are all vibrating, and depending on our vibration determines what other things are attracted to us, because everything is vibrating, okay, absolutely everything. Money, the table, the atmosphere, everything, other humans, okay, everything is vibrating. So depending on our vibe, that's going to determine what we are attracting. Okay, so a little bit like polarity and magnetism, okay, it's all interlinked, it's all this physics. Okay, so physics is a huge part of it, as is neuroscience, which I am not going to go into because it makes my mind pop a little bit. But just so you know, there is a scientific background to what we're talking about. There is also a psychological element to this, which does tie into that neuroscience, but the psychological aspect of manifesting and the law of attraction, they are kind of one and the same, if you like. So if you're manifesting, you're working with the law of attraction, and manifesting is creating our reality. So everything you see in front of you, you have manifested. Okay, we manifest everything, whether it's intentional or not. Okay, that's just how the world works because of this vibration. So we do have a psychological element, and this links to your mindset. So you will have probably heard people say, you know, be careful what you think, and what you think is what you attract, and, you know, think positive and be positive, and all these things that we're instructed to do. And as humans, we know it is not quite that straightforward. Okay, so what we have to try and do is work with our mindset and reprogram ourselves psychologically. Okay, because we have beliefs. That's what we're conditioned to do. So our beliefs are things that we believe are true because of what we've learned, what we've been conditioned, our experiences. Okay, that's just how we've formed our psyche. Okay, because we have to get the evidence and this information from somewhere to create our belief system. But what we want to do with the law of attraction, if you are wanting to make changes to your physical reality and you're trying to call in different things, we want to alter that mindset. Okay, so we are manipulating your brain, your neuroscience and your psychology when we're doing this on a conscious level. So that is a little bit mind boggling, and I promise that's the heaviest part of it. Okay, the psychological part is huge, which is why I love it, because I did my master's in psychology. It's something that I absolutely adore working with. It's helped me create my warrior activation method that I use with my clients to do these psychological changes in a really safe and really effective way. Okay, the third way that the law of attraction works and manifesting works is on a spiritual level. Okay, and again, this is all backed by science as well, but on the spiritual level, it helps with that connection. Okay, because we are all connected, we are all one. Okay, we're all vibrating, and it helps you have that trust, because a lot of frustration can come from working with the law of attraction when we feel like we're doing everything that we should be and things just aren't happening, or things aren't happening quick enough or at the pace that we want. Okay, and you know, we are responsible for everything that does happen to us, which can be a very bitter pill to swallow, but we are. And by taking that responsibility and accepting that, you've done step one. But we also need that trust that it will be delivered at exactly the right time. It might look slightly different, but it will arrive. Okay, and that spiritual element, that magic that I teach in my academy, that helps not only make your results happen quicker, but it solidifies your belief and your trust, so that you can be a little bit more patient in waiting for these things to come. And sometimes they happen really, really fast and unexpected, which is what's been happening to me over the last few months, or they can take their time, and it's enjoying the journey to get there as well. So even though you might not manifest, you know, the £1 million straight away, you know, you enjoy the journey of manifesting a pay rise, a promotion, having a business. You know, the stepping stones and the journey are just as important and should also be acknowledged and celebrated. Okay, slight tangent there. So how we can work with it, with the psychological side, it is about reframing. And I just wanted to touch on this a little bit, because I think this is where a lot of people get a little bit unstuck or frustrated or hit a bit of a wall. Okay, so reframing your beliefs isn't as simple as just telling yourself the opposite. Okay, so just telling yourself that you are wealthy. Okay, that's going to take time to actually solidify that belief, which is why you have to go deeper and work with the psychological tools and techniques just to help that a little bit. But if you're not in a position to work with a coach like myself or others that work with manifestation and subconscious reframing, then you can do that on your own and a little bit easier. So rather than trying to shift from potential negative thoughts that you might have identified, so I'm going to stick with money just because we're focusing on money and abundance at the moment in the academy. So if we say, I'm skint all the time, I'm always skint, I can't afford to do X, Y, Z. Okay, if that is our current belief, if we were then trying to reframe that to, I'm a millionaire, I can afford everything I want, there's a disconnect. Okay, and we're just going to go, fuck it, this doesn't work. So rather than trying to do a massive reframe, okay, if you're working with a coach or a mentor, then you can do these things bigger. But if you're on your own, you can still do it, but just reframe into a neutral position. Okay, so rather than trying to flip that belief into the positive that might seem just a little bit far-fetched or a little bit out of reach just now, not forever, just for the moment, try and go for a neutral reframe. Okay, so you might say, I can afford the things that I need. Okay, so rather than saying I'm skint, saying I am comfortable, I am safe, I can afford what I need. Okay, so it's neutral. So that can help you a little bit. Does that make sense to people? Let me know if that doesn't. I can still see your comments coming through as well. But yeah, if that doesn't make sense, then let me know. But it's just an easier strategy when you're working on this on your own, rather than trying to make the big leaps. Okay, if you're working with a coach, then those big leaps should be a lot more accessible for you, because we can go deeper. Okay, the reason that it's harder to go deeper on your own is because it's like trying to split your mind in two, because we have our conscious mind, which is our rational thought and our thinking, and we have our subconscious, which is where these psychological changes take place. So if you're doing this on yourself, you're only working with the conscious bit, so it's really hard to then tell your subconscious what to do, because it's like having this side of your brain working. So that's why coaches also work with coaches. You know, I work with coaches as well to help me with this stuff, because it's really challenging to do it on yourself at that deeper level. Okay, so that is an intro to it, but let me know if you have any questions on what we've covered so far. So the next thing I want to talk about is kind of how it works and how you can work with it. Okay, so hopefully you've got a bit of a better idea of what it is, hopefully, but now how you can start to work with it. Okay, so something to remember is the like attracts like. Okay, so this is that magnet again. Okay, what we're attracting. And I know I've spoke about this before, but if you're having a bad day, if something goes wrong, something negative happens, we dwell on that negative space, and then other negative things happen, and it goes in like a bit of a spiral. Okay, hi Becky. So this is why we want to try and move to that neutral position. Okay, because like does attract like. So if you can be in that positive mindset, amazing. But if that's more of a challenge, if circumstances around you aren't particularly pleasant, move yourself into the neutral space. Okay, because at least that will attract neutral energies to you rather than more of the negative. Okay, so just if that's an easier transition for you, just move into the neutral. Okay, if you can move into the positive, awesome. But also don't feel like you have to be in that positive space all of the time, because you would be exhausted and probably a really irritating person if you were really positive all of the time. So you just want to tip the scales. Okay, so just 51% of the time in that positive space means you will be attracting 51% of positive stuff. Okay, if you're neutral a percentage of the time, you're attracting neutral. Okay, it's getting out of that negative space. Okay, so whichever transition is easier for you, go for it. But just remember, like attracts like. This is when we say, you know, what you put out is what you receive back. Okay, it's a Wiccan rule as well. So what we put out actually comes back threefold. So that's great when you're manifesting positive stuff, but not so much if you're in a negative space. Okay, and that's why also people say things run in threes. Again, it comes from the Wiccan read, because what we put out comes back threefold. Anyway, I digress into witchy stuff. The other way law of attraction works and how you can work with it is by creating space. So we have spoken about this when I spoke about knickers and having clear outs and having a spring clean, which, you know, now is the time because we are in spring. But the kind of sciencey bit behind this is that nature abhors a vacuum. So no space can be empty of those little atoms and molecules. Okay, so if you have a clear out, that drawer or space that you create will not stay empty because it can't. Okay, something will fill it. So, you know, the example of the car is the easiest one. If you want a new car but your garage is full of crap, empty the garage, you've created space for the new car. Okay, if you want to have new clothes, but your wardrobe is jam-packed full of stuff that you don't like, have a clear out of your wardrobe, create the space for the new stuff to come in, or your knicker drawer. Okay, so that's another way that you can really, really easily work with it. And something that I'm encouraging my ladies in the Soul Tribe Academy at the moment is by having different bank accounts, because a bank account cannot stay empty. It works exactly the same way. Okay, if you want to manifest money, set up an account for that money, give that money a purpose. Okay, that's your holiday account. You want to manifest money for a holiday, give it its own space, and then it can come through. If you want to manifest a partner, is there space in your home for a partner? Okay, so just little things that you can do, but pretty easy. The other thing that you can do is, this is kind of linked actually to the positivity that we've spoken about. So we know that we're not going to be positive the entire time because we're human beings, and that's absolutely normal and fine and okay. That's not going to damage our manifesting, but we can try and perfect the present. Okay, so let's think of a different example. So if you are in a job that you don't like, okay, it can be human nature, depending on our conditioning and our beliefs, to dwell on all the things we don't like about that job. Okay, we'll moan at any opportunity about our job. When people ask you how is work, your response is it's shitty. Okay, you will find yourself in that negative spiral. Okay, so talking about all the things wrong with your job, the customers are horrible, the team are awful, nobody does any work, I have to work really long hours, the pay's rubbish. Okay, dwelling on these negative elements of the job does not perfect your current situation. And like attracts like. So the more we complain and we moan about stuff, the more of that we attract, and we stay in that space because we're vibrating at that level. We can't move out from that level. Okay, so we either want to move into the neutral or talk about the job that you do want. Okay, when people ask you how is work, oh, I'm actually looking for a new opportunity to do X, Y, Z. Okay, you choose the conversations that you have. Language is so important because that is what your subconscious is always picking up on, is your language and your voice, which is why affirmations are really powerful, because it goes straight into your subconscious. Okay, so just change the conversation, be aware of your language, try and find the positive in the situations that you're in. And I know that can be a real challenge. Most of you will know, especially if you followed me for a while, I have been in some absolute rotters of situations. But if I can turn it around, then so can you. So transition into that neutral space first, and then transition to focusing on the positives. Okay, I hope that makes sense, but let me know if it doesn't. And then the ways that you can start to really sort of get to grips with the law of attraction, first off is having clarity as to what you want. And this isn't about being a specific or non-specific manifester. Okay, that's something a little bit different, but this is having clarity of what you actually want. Okay, because if we don't have clarity, we can sometimes counter manifest. So we might say that we want to manifest more money. Awesome. We then have more money come to us, but then at the same time, or a few days later, you receive a bill, and that money then departs again. Okay, so what has happened there is you have counter manifested. Now, there's a few reasons for that. Usually it is actually down to the psychological programming and the mindset work that's not been done, which is why that is such an important step. The healing and the mindset shifting is step one for me in my academy. But there is another reason that can happen, and it can be because there was no clarity around what that money was for. There was no purpose. Okay, or we actually weren't sure what we wanted it for. And you know, this can happen a lot in businesses. So we might say that we want to manifest more clients, more customers, but actually when they arrive we realize, shit, I don't have the time for them. Okay, or I don't have the resources to actually provide to them. So we've not actually had that clarity, and then they end up falling away. Okay, because we counter manifest. So having clarity over what you want, why, those of you that did the Magical Mind Challenge with me will know that we have to dig for that why. Find the driving force, and that will give you your clarity as well. Because it might be that actually we're trying to manifest something, but that's not actually the thing that we want. Okay, we might be trying to manifest money, but actually what we really want is freedom. So that means we'll be going about it the completely wrong way. Okay, so having that clarity, really, really important. And language we've spoke about. Linking with language and positive thought is also gratitude. So if you don't already practice gratitude, that is something that I would encourage you to do so. And I will pop that on a post over the next couple of days as well, so you can start to work with that. Other things that I do are visualizing. So there are hundreds of different visualizing techniques that you can utilize, but visualize your success, especially like last thing at night before you fall asleep. You know, allow yourself to have a little bit of a daydream and start to visualize what the life is that you're creating. Okay, start to visualize yourself in that space. Okay, and just remember, with all of this, you are accountable, you are responsible, and you are in control. And that's the scary bit, because it's taking responsibility. And if you're not happy with what you see, you're the one that can change it. Okay, so that can be a blessing and a curse. It's really, really powerful. It's really empowering, but also it can be a bit of a shock to accept responsibility for that, especially if it's not particularly pleasant right now. Okay, but once you accept that, accept where you are. This is where you're at. If it's shitty, it's for a reason. It's to teach you a lesson for something. It's to then bring in something better for you. Okay? Everything does happen for a reason, even when it's horrific. Okay? And I know when you're in those situations like I've been in, you think really like, why? Why is this happening to me? And we can kind of go into that victim mode a little bit. Okay? Allow yourself to have a pity party for a short amount of time and then think, all right, do you know what? I'm the one in control. I can change this, and you can. Okay, so little steps. Start to practice gratitude for things that you can find that you are grateful for right now. Doesn't have to be massive. Okay, you all have internet, you have a roof over your heads. We can be grateful for that. Okay, start small, all the things that you're thankful for. Okay, start to visualize where you want to be, what you want to call in, what you're trying to cultivate and create. Visualize that, and then shift yourself into the neutral and then into the positive, and your vibrations will change. And this can be determined by who you're spending your time with as well. So be really conscious about the people that you're around. If those conversations do start to go into the negative spiral of why everything's shitty, change the conversation, redirect it. Okay? You have the power to do that. You can change it. And that's one of the things that I love about the Soul Tribe Academy, and I know the ladies in there do as well, is because it's such a high vibe space, because we're all striving for better. We're not dwelling on the negative, we're focusing on where we're going. Okay, which is so, so beautiful and so, so important to lift your vibration. Okay, I do follow a 10-step process, which I teach to my clients, and I'm going to be teaching on the manifestation day that we've got coming up in July as well. So that is something that I do refine. I alter it as I manifest bigger things or alternative things that I've not created before. I refine the process. So I've been doing this work for years, and I have spent a considerable amount of money on various different coaches who have helped me with the mindset, the manifesting, my spiritual tutors from many, many years ago. So I have refined this process, and 10 steps might seem like a lot, but there is a lot to it. Okay, so I've given you some basics today, which I hope helps as a starting point, especially if this is completely new to you and you didn't have a clue what I was talking about before. I hope this has given you a bit of an insight in how you can actually start working with it now. But like I say, if you have got questions, do let me know. But if you would like to have a full day of working on this, it will be quite intense. So it's included for my Soul Tribe Academy members. So if you want to do this over like a spread out amount of time, so my Soul Tribe Academy is running all the way through till Halloween. So we do manifesting, we do mindset work, we do healing work, We have 12 hours together every month in the academy. So if you want to spread it out and be part of the intense day, then you absolutely can. If you want to just come along for that one VIP day, then let me know. Just pop in the comments that you want to come to the VIP day. Put VIP manifester. Let's embrace who you are. You're a VIP manifester, and I will send you the details for that. So like I say, it will be an intense day because I'm gonna pour out everything that I know about the law of attraction and manifesting. We're going to teach you how to use those tools. We're going to clear your energy as well. I'm going to clear your chakras and your aura and your energy field so you become instantly magnetic straight after the call. And we're going to work with those tools and techniques. Okay, so pop VIP Manifester if you want information on that. It is on the events page on the group as well, so you can check that out. So that is there as an option for you, but the Soul Tribe Academy is also open if you want to spread it out a little bit and if you want to start before July in doing this work as well. So like I say, we're focusing on money at the moment, so if you want to call in some more abundance, that is where we are at. But before I head off, has anyone got any questions? Let me know in the comments. Sammy's a VIP manifester. Yes, you are. I will pop you a message, my lovely. Anyone else got any questions? If you're watching on replay as well, do feel free to pop your questions in the comments and I can get back to you. But I hope that does give you a little bit of an insight into this very, very powerful law, and it works even if you're not consciously working with it. Okay, so everything you see right now, you have created. Okay, you are most welcome, my lovelies. I hope you have a gorgeous rest of the week. I can't actually believe it's Wednesday already. It's crazy. Time is absolutely flying. And we have our womb healing on Sunday. So I'm so excited to share what that experience is like with you once I have done that. But the gorgeous Louise is going to be leading us in a womb healing ceremony, which is just going to be out of this world. I've got tissues at the ready. It's going to be a beautiful, beautiful ceremony, but I will let you know how that goes for any of you that have been looking at that kind of thing. I'll tell you all about the experience, and I will then also be able to deliver womb healing and pass on the rights to other women as well, which is awesome. So I will let you know how that goes after Sunday. But I hope you all have a beautiful, beautiful week. Keep manifesting all the good things. Remember, you are completely in control, you are powerful, and you have got this. Okay, and I will see you all very soon. Bye bye.